Greetings, YouTube Pipe community. Peter Piper, the True Light, coming at you at 20:55 Eastern Standard Time, -4 Greenwich Mean Time for my global subscribers. Great day today. Worked hard. I realize it's hard to believe. Working at home, lots of distractions, but kept getting emails and having to respond to them. Coming up on a milestone event at work, so I'm preparing for that. Anyway, work aside, and it's off and on, I consider myself extremely fortunate that I'm not out of work as a result of the COVID-19 event. I work in the defense industry, and as such, we have to keep going. We have to protect ourselves and our allies. So, having said that, I will tell you what I'm going to be smoking. I'm in my office right now. Haven't shown this around too much, but give you a little tour here. Anyway, this is my computer, and above my computer, I've got this little hutch here, and this is my little pipe nook. And tonight, I will select my, of course, my down in the bunker pipe, my Peterson XL315, and back around here, I am smoking I'm going to be smoking some Foursquare cut plug, and I've rubbed out the plug slices in a plate to dry out a little bit. I like to dry out my plug and flake tobacco. It stays lit better, it smokes better, it's not as frustrating, and the Navy does it best, don't they? So, I want to shout out a few of my recent subscribers, maybe not my most recent, but I don't want to neglect anybody. Iron Brigade Piper, I haven't looked at your site yet. I will, as well as US Piper. Thanks for the subscription. Pipe Grump, I have looked at your site, and it's very interesting. You're very creative, and if you haven't checked out Pipe Grump yet, check out his video on pipe porn. A little risque, but a lot of innuendo there, but very entertaining, and you will get a laugh out of that. 16-ton life. I watched his intro video, and he talked about why he's afraid to fly. It has to do with this experience he had with his dad flying. And all I'm going to say about that is down in the bucket below, there's a link. And especially I want 16-Ton Life to check it out, because it's a scene from a movie back in 1964, probably well before most of your time, or anyone's time that probably watches the channel. We're the older set, and it's before my time too. Actually, I was too young to really appreciate it at the time. I think in '64. Yeah, in '64, I was 8 years old, so I didn't watch that movie. It was more of adult entertainment, I think. And I'll tell you up front, it's back in the '60s. Well, in the 70s, you had dope humor. You know, you had Cheech and Chong with smoking bongs and joints and stuff like that. But back in the early 60s, like 10 years earlier than that, you had booze humor. And this is true booze humor. And if you haven't seen It's a Mad, 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 Mad World before, check out the link down below. And it's just a clip out of the movie. Um, it's such that you don't have to understand the full context of the movie in order to appreciate it. It's just really, really funny. And of course, booze humor is probably politically incorrect at this point because there's so much, tragedy associated with, well, for one thing, drinking and driving, not to mention drinking and flying. But I hope that you'll appreciate the humor in it and not take it to heart. At any rate, with that said, tonight's beverage is another shout out to, I think he's a subscriber, but I'm not sure. If he's not, he should be. His name's Smoke Swag. Actually, his name's Glass, and his channel is smokeswag.com. And he was talking about bourbon and how it either cures or prevents the common cold. And maybe it helps with preventing COVID 19. But he had this glass with a nice big ice ball in it. And that got me to thinking I'm going to check out an ice ball mold. I want one of those. And we both, he said his favorite blend, I think his favorite, we both enjoy Kentucky bourbons. And he likes Buffalo something. I forget what it was, but I did buy a bottle of it once. Actually, I went into the liquor store and I was shopping for a bourbon, and the one of the workers at the store came up to me and said, "Try this Buffalo thing, whatever it is." I'll think of it in a minute, but the mind is the first thing to go, folks. So don't think otherwise. Um, Buffalo Mist? I don't know. But anyway, I have tried that. If swag, if you're watching, it's good stuff, and I enjoyed it. Um, and so tonight, I'm doing the Evan Williams. When I order some branch water from Amazon, I'm going to go a little higher end and get some good stuff and make some branch water cubes and have some bourbon and branch, as well as a high proof Kentucky bourbon old fashioned. And that's the way to go. Great old fashioned recipe. Check out Double A Pipe Man. Um, just look for his old fashioned recipe. He's got it down. A little bit different than the way I make it, but I usually muddle the cherry. He just muddles the orange, and I'm going to try it the other way because it's probably less sweet if you don't muddle the cherry. Um, and he uses soda water, I believe, and I use branch water. But I have tried it with soda water, not on his suggestion, but you've probably seen I enjoy the Pellegrino mineral water, and I've made an old fashioned with that as well. What else? So Smoke Swag, yeah, way to go, man. We're both bourbon lovers, and I found that bourbon pairs better with a pipe than certainly vodka. And I switched off from bourbon and went to vodka for a while, but vodka and a martini doesn't really pair well with a pipe. It's more alkaline, I think, whereas a bourbon is more acidy. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it just seems that way. And bourbon pairs better with a pipe, any tobacco. Anyway, I'm getting carried away, and what are we up to? 9.5 minutes. Check out the link on Mad, 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 Mad World. Great movie from 1964. Actors are, in this scene particularly, Buddy Hackett, um, Mickey Rooney, Jim Backus, and a host of other fine, long gone, funny people. If you watch the movie in its full, there's Milton Berle, there's Sid Silvers from No Time for Sergeant's fame. Don't know what else. The funny thing about Jim Backus is, if you remember him from Gilligan's Island as Mr. Howell, you'll appreciate him because he plays the same type of part in Mad World, in that he's a rich guy, and very eccentric. So check that out. I'll hook up back with you when I go down to the bunker and enjoy my cut plug. Be good. I'll be back. Take care. Peter Piper.